from the Devil's Cellar in the heart of the Maipo Valley, let's head south and west into the Colchagua Valley to visit the wines and vines of Viñedos Emiliana, a biodynamic producer.
In biodynamic, we try to follow the moon rhythms, the moon cycle. You know, every month you have a couple different days. That's, I mean, fruit days, leaf days, flower days, and we try to pick in particular for our top wines, we try to pick in flower and fruit days. This is very important for us. After that, when the grapes arrive to the winery, the idea is try to be very soft with the grapes, with the wine. We use here 95% wild yeast. The idea is try to develop or try to get some character from this spot into our wines. The idea is try to be very soft, very consistency, and it's a little more slow, all the process, maybe 1 week more, sometimes 2 weeks more, but in the end, arrive to good shape.
Everything is done naturally and gently at Viñedos Emiliana. For example, grapes are sorted twice, first by cluster and then by individual berries. It takes longer and requires quite a bit more manpower, but the end result, better wine, is worth it. There are many challenges with biodynamic grape growing and winemaking, but also many rewards.
For me, it was a surprise because, for example, I have a little trial, maybe we can see. I have a little try with the wild yeast and commercial yeast. It's only a barrel fermentation. It's different. The smell is different. The aromas is completely different. It's more elegant. It's more risky, but more elegant. And in the end of the day, for us, it's like you know what? Our first idea to get some character into our wines makes sense. This is the idea. Under organic and biodynamic system, we try to be, I don't want to say unique because everybody say this is a unique wine and stuff like that, but try to show some wine, honest wine, if you want to say, don't misunderstand me, but honest wine from this spot.
Before I get too far along, I thought it would be a good idea to explain more about biodynamic farming. Biodynamic farming was created by a man named Rudolf Steiner in the mid-1920s. It takes organic farming several steps further, including adding a cosmic element following the cycles of the moon for all activities in the vineyards and winery. Another key element are the so-called preparations, each composed of different elements and each with a specific purpose. The preparations are buried in very precise vessels, the horn of a female cow, for example, then exhumed for use on the farm.
Looks like
dirt.
Okay. Smell. I don't know. It's like a healthy earth.
It's very healthy.
Okay. This is cow manure, fresh and green. Smelly cow manure inside to the cow horn. Female cow horn with a couple kids. You bury it 6 months, and after 6 months,
it's this.
This is the result.
It doesn't smell like manure.
Exactly.
There are 9 preparations in all. Only 3 are put directly on the vines. The others are added to the compost, which is then used in the vineyard. The preparations in compost are applied to the vines at the appropriate time in the appropriate amount. For some, all of this might be a little hard to believe, but at Emiliana, it works.
For us, this is a system to get healthy and good grapes. Makes sense for me, because still we are learning. For me, the most important, or for me, the particular situation is grapes came healthy all the time. This year is a little dry. Last year raining a little bit, and in 2007 raining a little more. And all the time is healthy.
They propagate their own vines at Emiliana. Growing their own rootstock is another part of the effort to be self-contained. A biodynamic operation should always be that, creating everything it needs to sustain itself, then repeat the cycle each year. You'll find all sorts of animals here: alpaca, geese, hens, guinea fowl, all here to create a balance on the property and to create fresh manure, which is turned into compost. The animals also eat the weeds in the vineyards, taking the place of herbicides. Makes sense to me. As for the product of the vineyards, wine, they make a wide range at Viñedos Emiliana, but most of my experience is with the Natura line, which are outstanding varietal representations, red and white. I would recommend their wines highly, especially after tasting the Emiliana Coyam, a beautiful blend in the vineyards.
It's a very elegant wine.
Yeah.
It's really well balanced. No particular variety dominates. They all integrate with each other, and one builds on the next.
Exactly.
Everything at Viñedos Emiliana is done with respect to the planet. The winery was built with adobe and local stones. They wanted it to be part of the landscape, blending in rather than sticking out.
The idea to build this winery was to use some novel materials, if you want to say, like an adobe in the walls, wood, copper roof. It's open, as you see, you know. Have design. In one hand, it's nice, it's beautiful, but in the other hand, it's very comfortable. Yeah, it's functional. You know, we have a technology. Looks very rustic, but we have all the technology necessary to make that kind of wines. But I think the idea was try to build some winery like don't misunderstand me, but very friendly between vineyard, farm, and industry, if you want to say, you know.
Have it be a part of nature as much as possible.
Exactly.
From the winery to the preparations, to the animals, to the vineyards, to the grapes, to the wine, Viñedos Emiliana is about making an honest wine with the least amount of impact on the earth. For von Bischofshausen, it's a professional and personal pleasure.
It's funny because it's a year work. It's not only harvest time. It's all the cycle. Okay, next year, you know, the pruning will be, I don't know, a little more short, a little more longer, depends. And really, you can play with the farm and the wines. And this is the good part for me.
Viñedos Emiliana, biodynamic wines made with passion.